week 15 of the fantasy basketball season, and here's a few centers on the rise this week. The first guy is Kelly Olynyk of the Houston Rockets. So Olynyk here, he's really jumped off the ranking board since he got traded from Miami to Houston in the last couple of weeks on the season. He's ranked 83rd, 11.1 points a game, 6.2 rebounds, 2.2 assists, a steal, 1.8 threes a game, 83% from the foul line, and 45% from the field. But Olynyk in the last few weeks, he's ranked 21 with 17.4 points a game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 1.1 steals, 2.1 threes for Olynyk. So Olynyk, he's really doing the intangibles. He's getting a lot of playing time in Houston, and he's a guy who said he needed a fresh start, and he's getting it for now here with the Houston Rockets. And on the last couple games, April 4th versus New Orleans, 26 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists, and 5 threes. April 5th versus Phoenix, 21 points, 4 rebounds, and assists, 2 steals, and 3 threes. And April 7th versus Dallas, a huge ball game, 10 points, 18 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks, and a 3. So Olynyk, he's doing a little bit of everything for this Houston team, and he's been a hot pickup over the last 2 weeks here, with his percentage rising up 17%. So Olynyk, he could help fantasy teams, and he's helping the Rockets at least stay somewhat competitive over the last few games. So he's rising up. The next center is Enes Kanter of the Portland Trailblazers. So Enes, I thought his numbers would go down a bit here. Is Kanter on this Trailblazer team once Jusuf Nurkic came back, but Kanter, he's staying up there in the numbers, and he's staying up there in the rankings on the season. 12 points a game, 12 rebounds, 1.3 assists, 78% from the foul line, and 60% from the field in the last couple weeks here for Kanter. 11.4 points a game, 12.1 rebounds, 1.1 assists, 88% from the foul line, and 63% from the field. So Kanter, he's a better fantasy player than a real-life ball player, and that goes with everything. Percentages, rebounding the basketball. I know his defense ain't all that great, but in fantasy, it don't matter really what you're doing on defense. And April 2nd versus Milwaukee, 2.6 rebounds. April 3rd versus OKC, this is when he's kicked it back into gear. 12 points, 17 rebounds, 4 assists, a steal, and a block. And April 6th at the Clippers, 13 points, 15 rebounds, an assist, and 2 blocks for Kanter. So Kanter, he's doing it all. Nurkic, he's still not 100% in my opinion since he returned to the lineup here for Portland. And even on a limited minute basis, Kanter still could put up numbers here if he's only going to play 20, 25 minutes a game. But when he's playing the 30-plus is where you get the big numbers from him, and he's definitely on the rise. The next center is LaMarcus Aldridge of the Brooklyn Nets. So Aldridge, he signed with the Nets 2 weeks ago, and now he's got a premium role here with this Net team. On the season, Aldridge, he's ranked 118 in fantasy basketball, 13.6 points a game, 4.6 rebounds, 1.9 assists, a block a game, 1.2 threes, 86% from the foul line, and 46% from the field. But the last couple weeks now, since he stepped in for this Net team, the numbers, they've been pretty similar, but he's getting the 2 blocks a game as well. He's hitting a 3, and right now, obviously, he's not going to be a main focus for defenses here. When they verse the Nets, you got to deal with Harden, you got to deal with Irving, you got to deal with Durant, who came back last night and had a good ball game off the bench for this Net team. And Aldridge, he fits this team pretty good in my opinion right now, and I think he could get the job done, and I think he can help fantasy owners. And right now, he's rising up the rankings after not playing for a few weeks after the Spurs were going to figure out what they were going to do with him. So Aldridge, since he's been a Brooklyn Net, April 1st versus Charlotte, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. April 4th at the Bulls, 11 points, 3 rebounds, an assist, a 3, and 3 blocks. April 5th versus the Knicks, 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, 2 blocks. And then last night versus New Orleans, he went off with a big one, 22 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, and 2 threes. So LaMarcus Aldridge, he's really getting the job done here for this Net team. And he's a player that's very valuable, I believe, for the Nets down the stretch, and could be valuable for fantasy owners as a guy you could have on your roster and you could rely on to put up some decent numbers and help your team in some categories. Then is Robert Williams of the Boston Celtics. So Williams here, he's been a guy I said he just needs the playing time throughout the season, and he's finally getting the playing time here from the Boston Celtics, and he's making the most of it, is Williams. And Williams on the season, he's ranked 63rd in fantasy basketball, 8 points a game, 6.9 rebounds, 1.7 assists, 1.8 blocks a game, 65% from the foul line, and 72% from the field is Williams. And the last couple weeks, he's ranked 18th in fantasy basketball, averaging 10 and 10, 3.4 assists, 2.3 blocks a game, a steal, 78% from the foul line, and 69% from the field. So right here, Williams, he's putting up great numbers. He's helping a lot in the double-doubles, and he's definitely shooting a high field goal percentage, even though he's only attempting 6 shots a game. But this guy, he's all over the place. He's blocking shots, he's getting on the floor, and he's a physical big man here for this Celtic team. And the last 3 games for Williams, April 4th versus Charlotte, 16 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, and a block. April 6th versus Philly, 4 points, 9 boards, an assist, and a block. And then last night versus the Knicks, 6 points, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks. So he's giving you the intangibles. He's not going to score a lot of points a game, but he's going to help in shot block, and he's going to rebound, and he's going to shoot the basketball at a high percentage for fantasy owners and the Celtic team that finally unleashed him and let him get in that 25 to 30 minutes a game. And the final center on the rise this week is Wendell Carter Jr. of the Orlando Magic. So Wendell Carter, this trade helped him a lot going from Chicago here to Orlando, where he's one of the main players already on the roster. On the season, he's ranked 137 with 11.5 points a game, 7.9 rebounds, 2.1 assists, 74% from the foul line, and 52% from the field here for Wendell Carter. And the last couple weeks for Carter, since he got traded, 15 points a game, 8.5 rebounds, 1.8 assists, 1.2 blocks, 76% from the foul line, and 60% from the field. So Wendell Carter, he's putting up numbers here for this team, and they got no other options really besides him and Terrence Ross as guys who are actually consistent ball players and have been veterans for a few seasons in the NBA. April 3rd at Utah, 19 points, 12 rebounds, 1 assist, and 2 blocks. April 4th at Denver, 16 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 steals, and a block. And then versus the Washington Wizards last night, 15 points, 4 boards, an assist, a steal, and a 3. So Wendell Carter, he's getting almost a double-double nightly. And he's helping in the other categories as well with steals and some 3-pointers and a block or 2 here. So Wendell Carter Jr., he's not going to slow down anytime soon. And if you were lucky enough to pick him up within the last 2 weeks since he got traded to Orlando, he's been a player producing, and he's a center definitely on the rise. So that's a few centers on the rise here in Week 15 of the fantasy basketball season.